Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalram, and in today's video I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple things Blizzard has released. Over Gamescom, Blizzard has released the information about the next patch after the release of Legion, patch 7.1, which brings back Karazhan as an epic dungeon. I want to talk a little bit about some dev comments about Legion, and those developer comments I want to have a discussion on. I want to showcase you the undercroft of Karazhan and a specific special area where there's a lot of treasures hidden inside, and just walk over and showcase you guys exactly what the place looks like, as well as the new Dalaran. So while I'm in Dalaran, I want to showcase you guys the new Dalaran. Currently hovering above Karazhan on live servers. Every single week there's been something new. First it was the invasions, then it was the moving of Dalaran, and now we're going to get some other quests for Dalaran. But while we have it, you can check out some of the changes that it has. You have the center area, which is a lot different. You have this middle tower now that's a lot different looking. And overall, the textures for Dalaran have been updated. You look at the gravel, you look at the walls, you look at the rooftops, you look at every single texture available in Dalaran has been updated. And it's just a really nice looking place, besides all the demons fighting the NPC guardians. Even the statue of Roland has been updated, and I love this scene right here. This shot right now is just the streets of Dalaran, the rooftops, the walls, all the spell particle effects, even like the little crystal things that they wear rooftop. So the Dalaran as a city has been redone to its full detail, and it looks beautiful, and this is something you guys can currently check out. Now, a lot of the places are still closed for Dalaran, like you can't go in the rogue class hall, and you can't really go down in the sewers yet, but a lot of the places are still available. For example, you have the shops, all the profession shops now look a little bit different. The NPCs don't really work because they're outside fighting the demons invasion, so you won't really be able to get any kind of NPCs to sell you any goodies, but you can look inside of the shops and see what everything looks like and just all the nice updates. Now, off of the Dalaran, let's talk a little bit about Karazhan. So the main thing I want to talk to you guys about is the patch 7.1 that was released at Gamescom with a trailer and a little bit of video. You can find the information on MMO Champion and Wowhead, and I just want to read you off some of the things that Karazhan will offer. Now, this is patch 7.1. This isn't a patch on release date. This is a patch after the release. So Blizzard has already given away some information about what we're going to get in the future, and there's a good reason for it, because we'll talk about some of the dev comments. First of all, Karazhan is going to be Karazhan is central to the story of Legion and is an important place. It's going to be a 5-player large epic dungeon, almost a 5-player raid with 9 bosses, feedback that players missed during dungeons like Blackrock Depths. And I'm reading all this off of Wowhead, and the other part of the article I'm going to get off for MMO Champion. Continue on the original Karazhan raid is not going anywhere, so you'll still be able to go there and farm all your goodies like mounts and transmog, and even, well, now with the new cosmetic system for the enchants, you'll be able to farm your enchants in certain raids, and Karazhan is one of those raids. In addition to Karazhan, there's also going to be a small raid between Nightmare, as in the Emerald Nightmare raid, and the Nighthold raid. That's supposed to wrap up the Stormheim storyline. And I think it's actually really cool, the fact that there's going to be a small raid, an epic dungeon, and so much more already in patch 7.1. And this is very exciting to see, as these are just the first 2 raids that are in the game, the Nightmare and the Nighthold. And this is going to be a small raid in between of those, so it's kind of exciting to hear all these new things that are going to be in the game before they're out. So I'm just very excited to hear about it. Patch 7.1 content also includes the new Suramar quests and world content, and the Suramar area is going to be where the Nighthold raid is, where the new race of Night Elves on the Broken Isles is going to be at. So that's exciting. I saw a little bit of that content watching Towley play some PvE. I didn't do too much questing in Legion beta thus far. Only a little bit to test abilities and how the artifact system works, but for the most part, I want to keep it all a surprise to myself for when I actually play it. And also, the whole patch 7.1 will hit BTR as soon as Legion launches, so you'll be able to test out Karazhan as soon as the game is launched. So it's kind of crazy to be able to see this content this early on, as soon as the game is launched. So it's crazy that Blizzard is pushing out so many updates already, and the game is not even launched. We can only expect a big content patch change, better than whatever we got with Selfie Cam back in Warlords. So that's very exciting. Second part I want to showcase you is in Karazhan. As you can see, there's the entrance, but there's also a road that takes you to the Undercroft, and I want to walk over the Undercroft. This is a place you can visit right now on the live servers of the game, as long as you've done. Actually, I think you can visit live servers, even though you might have not done the Dalaran questline, where Dalaran is going to be over Karazhan. But I'm going to be walking over it, and there's a bunch of goodies. This place is supposed to be very, very interesting. It's supposed to contain a quest storyline for the Unholy Death Knight artifact weapon, Boomkin artifact weapon, and either Shadow Priest or Fire Mage. I'm thinking maybe it's Fire Mage. I could be wrong about the last one, but I know Unholy Death Knights and Boomies have to do with this place. Anyway, let's continue on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Undercroft experience, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the dev comments. So the World of Warcraft devs recently commented on MMO Champion, which is where I'm going to be reading stuff and making a discussion video off of. So let's talk about the devs, and this is going to be kind of leading towards what Warlords General was about. So as I read it, think of Warlords General in the back of your mind. Alright, point 1. There was a period where the team focused on faster expansion, sacrificing things that they shouldn't have. This made the experience worse. What expansion could they be talking about? Next point. The focus going forward is a steady stream of content. I mean, I don't know, dude. When I got the selfie cam, I thought that was probably the most amount of content I've ever had in a while. Priority number 1 is making sure that you don't run out of things to do. I don't know, dude. When I got the selfie cam, I remember spending so much time with it and taking snapshots of all the people I've dueled and beat in Warlords. I don't even know what Blizzard's talking about. Kappa. The team is never going to rush an expansion that will be released when they're done. Well, that's always good to hear. Ensuring there is always content on a live game while working expansions is important. That sounds promising. Raid tiers should last around 4 to 5 months. Ooh, that might be nice. I like the idea of raid tiers lasting 5 months. But does that mean... Oh yeah, last point. This means around... this time around there won't be any content drought, and in quotations, don't worry, we got you. And the question is, do you really have us, Blizzard? I guess what they're talking about and what they're trying to bring up is Warlords General and the failure that was. Okay, let me do a bit of rant. Warlords General, I enjoyed it for what it was, for how much I could enjoy it, and I did enjoy the combat modes of Warlords General. I enjoyed the reliability. I enjoyed everything that I did in Warlords General. But in Pandaria, I remember never having to run out of things to do. And Pandaria wasn't a great expansion, but Warlords General, eventually I ran out of things to do. And thank God, by God, there was Legion Beta. Thank God, because that kept me around for a while. And I basically could just forget Warlords and the excuse that it shouldn't have never been. Anyway, Blizzard was basically addressing the failure that was Warlords, the fact that it wasn't their main priority, the team focused on fast expansions, the focus on Legion, they didn't rush out mainstream content. And I guess a lot of this is just one of the things that people did talk about in the past when it comes to Warlords General. A lot of people felt like it was a full price tag for an expansion, but you got not as much of an expansion as you could. For the longest time I tried to avoid that topic, but when we're looking at Legion and we're looking at Warlords General, it's hard not to talk about the topic, because already in Legion, we are seeing the release of Legion, all the maps, all the changes which can be experienced on the beta and pre-patch servers, as well as the next patch, the Karazhan, the return of Karazhan, an extra small raid being added, an epic dungeon being added. Like, you've seen all this content already, and it's like, wow, Legion is not even released, and we already know what's going to happen in 7.1. And the reason Blizzard has put it out, first of all, to bring the hype for the game and give people more things to be excited about, one. Second, to kind of go over the idea that this time there won't be any content drought, and ensuring that there's always content on a live game while working on an expansion is important. They're trying to show it. So there's one thing you can do. You can either go to a show and tell everybody about what you're trying to show, or show it. And Blizzard is doing this showing part and kind of just taking a good step forward. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing. As a player of World of Warcraft for the longest time, I have enjoyed most of the PvP aspects of World of Warcraft. And with Warlords General, you have PvE, you have PvP, but I think Raiders actually enjoyed the PvE of Warlords General, but PvPers didn't really enjoy it after a certain point. And I was one of those people that kind of dropped off of the boat of that one. But we are already seeing how much attention is being put into Legion for PvP, especially for PvE as well. The combination, the fact that you can do both and still be able to get gear, earn gear, and be able to earn rewards that can be applied in whichever aspect of the game that you enjoy, I think it's just kind of great. I mean, how do you feel as a player, as somebody who's been playing World of Warcraft? with Blizzard coming out and saying, hey, we kind of know we fucked up without really saying it out loud. We know we messed up in the past and we are trying to change things, and here are some of the updates in the future. How do you feel? Do you feel like, hey, this is something I can actually trust? Do you feel this is good content? Do you feel like this is something that's going to be pushed forward and you're going to be able to rely on this? Or are you more weary as a player and as a subscriber and as a fan of Blizzard games and fan of World of Warcraft? I myself, I like to be optimistic, because in the past, during Pandaria, I thought, oh, pandas? That would be stupid. That sounds like a stupid expansion. And I ended up enjoying the living shit out of expansion. And with Warlords, I was pretty enthused by it, and then it turned out to be not that much of an expansion. But I want to take a time after playing on the beta and say that, hey, I think the Legion is going to be pretty damn good. And that's just my stance on it. But what are you guys' thoughts on Legion and what's it going to be? The Karazhan patch, the Dalaran, the Karazhan Undercroft. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.